Hi there. I thought today we'd talk about why we want to be saying no to solicitors and why there's an alternative route that possibly is the best route for you when it comes to family court. But before we get into that, let's go to the intro. Hi, welcome back. Okay, so we're going to talk about solicitors today, and when we find ourselves in trouble, whatever the nature of that trouble is, solicitors are always the first port of call, aren't they? They're the first thing we think of. But there is an alternative, and that alternative is a McKenzie friend. The problem with solicitors is they have something of a reputation for being quite confrontational. We go there when we want somebody to fight on our behalf. We go there because we're trying to buy a house and it might be difficult or it might be complicated. We go there because we're in a dispute with our neighbours over a fence line and it's a bit of a heated row, so we need a solicitor involved. We go there because somebody's died and we need to sort out what we're going to do about their estate. So it's all pretty negative energy stuff, isn't it? And the problem is that solicitors carry that negative energy into a court, and when it comes to family law, that negative energy is not going to help. When it comes to family law, that confrontation that their reputation carries is not going to help either. So there's an alternative, and that alternative is a McKenzie friend. If I'm in a hearing, I'm on one side of the room with my client that I'm supporting and doing my very best for, and on the other side of the room there's a chap, and it soon becomes obvious that guy is a barrister, which makes him very well educated, which makes him very conversant with the law, but also it makes him very expensive. He is going to be £2,000, £3,000 or £4,000, if not more, for him to be stood there attending that hearing on your behalf if you've recruited him. And the problem we have is that the family law court is not the environment that requires a barrister. The family law court is process driven. There's a series of steps that have to be taken that are very clearly laid out. There's a series of moves that we all have to make. There's a series of submissions that we all have to make. And then the court ultimately makes the decision on our behalf. So the opportunity for a barrister, or indeed a solicitor, to flex their muscles, interpret the law, and come up with a clever piece of precedent in order to win their case is just redundant. It's just redundant. The other issue that I often have is that clients will come to me who have worked with a solicitor. They've started off their journey with a solicitor, and they come to me and they say that one of the biggest complaints is that the solicitor isn't telling them anything. The solicitor is very cagey when it comes to information. And my view on that is that the solicitor's view is that they know stuff. They know about the law, they understand what the steps are through family court, but they also put a value on each of those steps. And that value will come in the form of an invoice to you. If you work with a McKenzie friend, if you work with McKenzie Picave, we're fairly open about information. I accept the fact that it's not in my interest or yours for you to be kept in the dark. I accept the fact that I need to make you clear about what the steps are going to be and what is going to happen at the next hearing and the potential hearing after that and the potential hearing after that. So openness comes with the territory with a McKenzie friend, and certainly at McKenzie Picave, and possibly less so with a solicitor. We then come to fees. Let's talk about fees. Solicitors are expensive. The cost to become a solicitor, the training costs, the university education, it's expensive. And so they've got to recoup those costs, the costs of their offices and the cost of their education and the cost of everybody in the practice. And those costs are recouped through the fees that you are going to pay. And the client who comes to me and says, so far I've given my solicitor £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 and we haven't actually had the first hearing yet, that just disappoints me. That exasperates me. to have spent £5,000, £6,000 or £7,000 and you haven't actually entered a court of law yet, what are they doing? Because the family law process doesn't require that degree of investment. The steps are clear. The investment is hundreds of pounds. The investment potentially is between £1,000 and £2,000. It's no more. It's absolutely no more. And so when you're approaching a family law situation, when you're thinking to yourself, I'm in trouble here, I'm about to hit some troubled waters and I need some help, and your automatic reaction is to contemplate a solicitor, all I'm going to say is take a moment to stop and think about the other alternatives. And one of those other alternatives is to talk it through with a McKenzie friend. I'm sure you will find that the McKenzie friend is more open. You will certainly find that the McKenzie friend is a better investment. So, what I suggest you do, if you're in a predicament, contact McKenzie Picave and let's see what we can do to help you. All the instructions will feature at the end of this video. Hello, hope you liked that video. If Danny Picave Counselling is something that interests you, perhaps you're going to like that video, so why don't you watch that next? If McKenzie Picave, our family law support service, is something that is going to be of some use to you, perhaps you want to watch that video. Or failing that, just get in touch and we'll see you next time.